Elgi. Complete solutions to tire industry.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Joe Pryweller, Conference Director for Tire Business. I want to welcome you to today's live stream, live from the Tire Business booth at the SEMA Show. With us today, first of all, this webinar is presented by Elgi Rubber North America and produced by Tire Business. And with us today are Ron Moeller, President of Elgi Rubber North America, Bill Moeller, President of Elgi Rubber North America, and Ron Moeller, Manager of Sales and Marketing with Elgi. We're excited to bring this discussion to you live from the SEMA Show floor, and you'll be able to revisit the presentation on the Tire Business website later in the week. At this point, let's kick off our discussion by talking a little bit about Elgi as a company. First of all, I know you have two booths here at the show. Bill and Ron, want to tell us a little bit why you're at SEMA?
So this is the perfect venue for us to meet with our distributors, number one. We get the networking opportunity with our customers, the end users. So this is kind of the meeting place for us for our marketplace here in North America. So.
Excellent. You have two booths here, I understand.
Yep.
One in this hall, 40086, and then at 33333 at 5 threes that you're at here with different booths doing different things, right?
Right.
That's right. Our upstairs booth, 33333, is more focused on the off-road section. We have retail products, tire repair kits, other items like that. Our downstairs booth, number 40086, is more focused on retread consumables and accessories.
Excellent. Well, why don't we start by giving a little background on the company itself. What does Elgi do, and how the business begin?
Well, the core business is manufacturing.
Right.
The company was actually started in the late 1920s by the current managing director's grandfather. Suderson Verderaj is our acting chairman and director. He is the grandson of the founders. So we have started in the bus business in India, and buses need tires need repairing and retreading, and so the rubber business for Elgi began to expand over the years. And primarily through acquisitions, we have expanded our manufacturing and distribution base for these repair and retreading products globally. Europe, Asia, Africa, North America. So we've gone from buses to an international rubber and repair manufacturing concern.
You have a nice presence here in North America, I understand, too, with manufacturing.
Well, we're still kind of the new kid on the block, but we are making inroads, gaining some market share. We do make some of our products here. We make some on-the-wheel repair in Texas, and we have our rubber and liquids business in Wisconsin, and we also make equipment in Cincinnati. So.
Yeah, I know as far as the company goes that you're in retread and repair equipment, repair products, rasp blades and hubs, tools, all over the place, right?
Right.
When it comes to tire repair and repairing.
Yes, our mission is to make everything required to repair or retread a tire. It's just that simple.
Excellent. What's your background with the company?
Well, I started much younger than him in the business, working in shops. My dad was in the business, so I've got it in my blood from an early age, and have worked in the new tire, the repair side, manufacturing side, of course retreading, and so pretty much had my fingers in all of what we now do today. So excellent.
And Ron, how about you?
I actually started in high school. He was working with a local retread shop, and I ended up pulling staples out of tires and cleaning chambers after school to make a little scratch, and ended up getting a little more into the business later on, and here I am about 10 years later with LG Rubber, and it's been quite a trip.
Excellent. As far as trips go, too, the company's acquired quite a few over the last few years, too, right?
Right. Well-known brands in our industry.
Yeah.
So Pincott in our buffing brand, Cincinnati Retread Systems for equipment, Armonis for equipment, Western States for repair. So we've grown globally, again, through acquisition primarily.
Great, and geographically here in the States, you've grown quite a bit.
Yeah, we made our first acquisition here in the United States in 2009.
Okay.
And
you've bought quite a few since then.
Yes,
the last 10 years,
it's
right?
a full-time job just transitioning those companies here. And most of those companies, like LG, were family-owned, entrepreneurial based, and we've been very fortunate in retaining much of that knowledge with the core family businesses. So it's LG, although is a very large company, publicly traded in India, it has a very family feel to it. I work for the founding family and been gracious enough to allow my kids to come in as well. So
excellent.
That's true with most of the acquisitions around the world. So
that's great. A lot of them are family-owned companies that you've.
That's right.
That part of the family.
That's right. They've become part of the bigger
now.
family. That's right. Very well said. Yes.
Excellent. And I know outside of that too that you guys are big on training systems, and maybe tell us why that's important.
Well, we think that the first and foremost, an educated consumer is a better consumer, obviously. A lot of what we do is technical selling, making sure that the products that we manufacture and bring to market are used correctly. And along those lines, we participate in other industry associations where education and dissemination of proper techniques and processes are the primary function. LG participates, as an example, with a group called the Tread Rubber Repair Materials Manufacturing Group for that specific purpose, helping to educate the general public as to the proper usage of all the stuff that we make. So.
And what do you do internally as far as training for your network?
Well, we have training facilities in all three of our locations here in the U.S. Depending on the product line, it depends on where we send people for training. But again, for our distributor base, it's in our best interest to make sure they know how to use our products. So focus on education is paramount for us. It's just good business.
Oh, certainly. How do you do that? Is it videos? Is it face-to-face? Are there other methods you're using?
All of the above. We do printed, we do the video stuff, and we have quarterly training seminars at one of our facilities as well.
Ah, okay. So bringing people in.
Bring them in, yeah, hands-on as well as the classroom stuff.
That's excellent. I know you're getting even more into the 21st century with new tools to access online. Mm-hmm. Is that correct?
It is. It's been kind of a catch-up, with the majority of the market getting on digital interfaces and using social media and things like this. So
certainly,
it's how the market's evolved, and we feel it's very important. So we've been active in that over the past 3 or 4 years, and joining the club with social media and Facebook and all these platforms to let people know about our business.
Beyond that, are you allowing ordering online and doing some other work that way with actually purchasing of equipment or a product, whatever it happens to be?
We found that our online sales have continued to grow after we opened up a website about 2 years ago, and has been very successful and continues to grow. So, and again, it's for that end user market predominantly right now. They're able to log in and buy one or two of the items that they need to maybe repair a tire at home or use the products themselves in their own garage. So.
Excellent. So just another point too. I know you're working on building your distributor network. What are you doing in that area?
Well, there's been a lot of consolidation in our industry within the distribution world, and so what we do is we try to bring a multiple bucket of products, if you will, to our distributors so that they have more products they can actually bring to the market. And the more diversification and in revenue is a good thing. So
Certainly.
the more you have to sell, the stronger your business is. So our attraction to our distributors, I think, is our ability to bundle many products that we manufacture, one-stop shop, and that's a primary focus on helping our distributors grow as well. We want them to adopt the same marketing strategy, if you will.
So you're offering bundles of in some cases of
Sure.
whether it's equipment or blades and hubs.
Sure.
And,
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So multiple products, one-stop shop concept is we have a lot of competitors who distribute a lot of products. But we don't have a lot that make the products that they distribute, and that's what sort of makes LG unique. We make it all.
Yeah.
So
you got the manufacturing base along with it.
correct. That's right. Correct.
Yeah. So that's something you continue to grow and work with.
Absolutely.
Looking at anything else for the future?
Well, we hope to continue to expand distribution. Some of our product lines we need more distribution. Others, it's a mature marketplace, and we have
Certainly.
distribution saturation to a certain degree. But that's again something that's an advantage for us, in that we can focus, by product, and through our distribution network, we can actually. I guess the term is target focus within our distributed by product line. So there's growth in just about all lines, more growth than others. So certain distributors will be more facilitated towards the automotive aftermarket versus retreading. Other distributors like the retread consumable side. So we try to pick those distributors who have a niche, if you will, and then we try to then help them do a better job with our products, servicing that niche. So.
Great. Excellent. I think this is a good time to break for another video that we're going to show on the company itself before we get into some bigger topics. So let's run the next video about LG.
Elgi. Complete solutions to tire industry.
We're back with Bill and Ron Moeller of LG Rubber North America. You've talked a bit about the company. I want to get your thoughts on how the marketing has changed in tire repair and retreading, and how that affects what the company is doing. So, from your perspective, there's a lot of activity going on in different areas. First of all, from the consumer standpoint, there's obviously a need for quality products at a reasonable price, I guess, so to speak. You finding that out there? Or how are you looking at that as far as LG goes?
I think that's a fair statement. There's always a demand for better value, I guess maybe is the way to approach it. The North American marketplace in the repair world has some saturation, maybe oversaturation. So there's a lot of language or discussion, and I have to be careful with the language I use here, but on how we bring in import products versus U.S. made products, how as an example, the Chinese tariffs, how that has impacted our business in the repair world. So there's a lot of moving and shaking going on in the repair side of the business, I think, is maybe a fair way to say it. And so what we have to do is, first of all, be abreast of what's going on, how the tariffs, as an example, are going to affect our repair business here in North America, as well as globally. On one side, it helps level the playing field from a pricing standpoint, but it has a tendency to also reduce margins. The supply chain costs are are a serious cost concern for most of us in the business. So there are a lot of new dynamics going on.
Yeah, let's talk about a few of them. First of all, the impact of tariffs. How's that changed the market from even a year ago or so when this was going on?
Well, I think we have yet to see huge changes because of, again, the supply chain. But from a pricing standpoint, that makes the U.S.-based manufacturers more competitive, obviously,
yes,
with the products. And so with certain product lines, like our Western Weld repair line, that's a positive. That helps us.
Right.
And so it's pros and cons, I guess, is the way to approach it. So.
Yeah. Have the U.S. companies, does it help them become even stronger and more aggressive in the marketplace in some ways?
Well, it makes us certainly more cost conscious.
Certainly.
And we have to be very much aware of what's going on from a pricing standpoint, what the market will bear, what now constitutes a value product line. And I think the old adage of good, better, and best is still valid, but your product and market position is now more complicated based on whether it's made in the United States or whether it's made in China or India or wherever the case may be.
And obviously, your customers aren't going to want to pay a higher price. They still want a reasonable price for something.
They want it for nothing.
Yeah, if they can get it that way, they'll be lining up outside your door. Right?
That's right. But they also expect high quality product as well.
At the same time, so
Right.
balancing that is the issue.
Exactly.
Unpacking it further, you've talked a bit about supply chain issues and logistical issues, getting it there. What are some of the issues that you're seeing in that area?
Well, cost, number one, it's much more expensive than it used to be to, from point A to point B. Again, the tariffs have some impact on that cost structure, but what it forces us to do is look at our distribution models. Does it make sense to do it the way we used to do? The distribution world, as you know, is changing, especially the last mile concept with our freight companies and carriers. So again, change maybe is the optimum word that we are facing right now.
How are you handling that at LG?
Well, we're trying to bring in young people who know what they're doing. It helps a lot, especially in the internet and social media platforms. The challenge is getting that message that we produce a good product at a good price. We bring value to the marketplace. Communicating that's a different conversation, and that's why we're here today, obviously.
Yes.
And but that's I think our number one challenge. And how do we tell the world how good we are?
Exactly. And you're dealing with a mature market in some
very
cases.
Much so. That's right.
You'd say it's fairly saturated also as
very
far as it goes.
So. Sure.
Does that present its own challenges or opportunities?
Change is hard for most people. So in the distribution world, getting a distributor to pick up your line or switch to your line, it can be a very long, convoluted process. And
sure.
So we have to make it easy for them to make that decision, to make that change. And that's the challenge.
So you're looking at differentiators. What differentiates LG from the
Sure.
competition? When you talk to somebody about that, what do you say normally? What differentiates you from the others that are out there?
Well, of course, we talk about product and price, but we also talk about the ease, we hope, of doing business with us. Again, it's the family concept. We want to be easy to get along with.
Sure.
And we want our distributors to feel like they're part of a bigger family. And sometimes we're successful, sometimes we're not, but that's our primary goal, is just making them feel that they're part of the processes.
Excellent. So you're building relationships.
Very
in a lot
well
of cases,
said. That's right.
And trust with your customers.
Right.
As a business, so you feel like everybody's part of the family.
Yes. Yes. Right.
There are also legislative issues out there too that a lot of the audience will be aware of. Maybe you could speak a little bit about that. I know you mentioned the tire rubber and repair materials manufacturing group. Can you tell us a little bit about the activities there and what's been going on that side of it?
Well, we keep very close tabs of government regulation. Sometimes needed, sometimes, in our opinion, not. This industry is somewhat unique in that we are self-policing. We have come to the determination it's in our best interest to make our customers, the end users, distributors, the whole food chain, if you will, aware of proper retreading and repair procedures and techniques. So we partner with and we participate with TRMG, but the TRMG then partners with associations like the Tire Industry Association, and combating misinformation, which is often the root of bad legislation, especially at the state level.
Certainly. What are some of the misconceptions, or what are you trying to change in those areas?
Well, there's always something at the state level. For example, tire age, tread depth minimums, the type of repair that can be done, where a repair can be done. These are issues that we've seen primarily at the state legislative level that we fight every day, and so.
Most of it's at the state level as opposed to the federal level, what you're looking at.
Most of it. At the federal level, there is some required legislation and regulation, but at the most of what we see from a misinformation standpoint comes from the state level.
I know there's certain areas that makes it a little difficult for your dealers too, such as having to plug and patch tires both. Maybe speak to that a little bit.
Well, again, that speaks to the proper method. In our industry, we dissect tire repair with on-the-wheel repairing and off-the-wheel repairing.
Yes.
Because of the litigious world that we live in, especially here in the U.S., we follow industry-recommended practices that dictate on-the-wheel repair as a temporary repair, as an example. And then the tire should be taken to a professional service facility, removed from the wheel, and then inspected, and then an off-the-wheel repair is then done, ensuring that the proper type of repair is used, the proper size repair, etc. So again, that's back to education, and so the industry is, I think, working hard to make sure that if a repair is done, it's done right.
Yeah.
And that way nobody gets hurt. It's a safety issue as well, and it reduces vehicular injury, and so it's a major agenda for us, and to participate in that education process as a supplier to the industry. So.
Yeah, I guess with our audience, I'm curious what messages I get across as far as how to do this correctly. You're seeing needs, what needs work on as far as education goes. For tire repair and retreading.
We debate that yet this week at our annual meetings, but again, education is key, is making sure that education, that information is readily available. So a big part of our discussion is, well, how do you get that information in the hands of a tire technician? So from our perspective, from the company perspective, again, it's in our best interest to make sure that our products are used correctly. So we produce the videos, and we make the industry association has adopted what's called industry recommended practices, and so those are available online and in printed form, and then, so we work hard to get that proper repair and retread techniques into the marketplace.
So you got best practices that you.
That's exactly better said. Yeah.
The key to that is communicating it, obviously, in a lot of cases.
And then, believe it or not, that can be the challenge.
Right. Imagine. A few other areas, I know that they're just general trends. We're seeing a lot of factory direct, where wheels are coming right from the OEM to the end user in some cases, and bypassing the distributor entirely. How does that affect LG, or how does that affect the marketplace?
We face it every day. We have both programs. We allow our distributors to buy direct, and for some product lines actually encourage factory direct purchasing.
Okay.
Again, that speaks to this the supply chain and distribution models that we're dealing with. How do we make sure that the products keep getting to where they need to go? Is it better to import them directly to the user, or should we bring them in, warehouse them, and redistribute? So it's all part of the cost models that we're looking at, and we're finding that you have to do both to a certain degree. You have to invest in your inventory and inventory carrying cost, but yet you have to be able to provide some advantage in going factory direct, lower price points, just to stay competitive.
Right. So you're not fighting one or the other. You're working in both on both trains, I guess, in this case, right?
We found that we
Going
have
on the
to.
tracks for both,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah, that makes sense. And we talked a little bit before, but you got more online sales effect too with the consumer end, certainly purchasing more online. That's true in every part of every kind of business that there is out there, it seems like these days.
Right.
But in the tire business and the repair and treading business, is there an effect on what you're doing?
I think a positive impact.
Positive impact.
You might want to speak to that.
Maybe as somebody who's a little younger, maybe you want to talk about that.
I think it's evolving incredibly fast. The applications, the online resources are available at the palm of your hand. Guys going into shops, calling on customers are able to access information like industry recommended practices very easily.
Yeah.
So it makes it easier to do their jobs, to do business with the consumer, and to keep that consumer educated as well.
Yeah, and that's the other part of this. They're becoming more educated, which maybe is a good thing. You know, they're doing more research. They're looking into this beforehand. They're not just going in blind in a lot of cases.
We think so. Yeah, the technical aspect is if you understand how a product works, where it's supposed to be used, how it's supposed to be used, and it's a lot easier to use it.
Yeah, so that helps the company too, I guess, if they do their research on you guys.
Very much.
And what you're looking at.
Very much.
We're getting toward the end of our time, but I wanted to give you guys a little chance to do some many parting comments of what you want people to know about LG coming away from the conversation today.
Well, LG is a tire repair and retreading manufacturer. Our goal is to bring solutions that provide everything that's needed to repair or retread a tire.
Great. Bill?
In addition to what Ron said, we also feel it's very important to be active participants in the industry itself, whether it's through a trade association, whether it's through posting online, technical information. It's all part and parcel of sending the message to the world, especially to the U.S. market, who we are and what we do. And we think the good way to do that is through active participation. We're at trade shows,
Exactly.
We're going to conferences, participating. We want to have a voice in what goes on in this marketplace.
Yeah. So you're building a presence in a lot of different areas that you're doing.
And we're building brand, we're building product, confidence and value, and we hope acceptance. So.
Right. That's an exciting time as you continue to grow.
Right.
Well, Bill and Ron Moeller, I appreciate the conversation today. Great discussion, and I'm sure our audience got a lot out of this. I want to remind people that this presentation, this live stream, will be available on the Tire Business site later this week or early next week. So look for that if you want to watch this in its entirety. Also, we have 2 more live streams coming up today. If you'd like to register for those and join us at those conversations, we'd love to have you. Bill and Ron, enjoy the rest of your SEMA experience, and same to our audience, and we'll talk soon.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.